G'day, it's Lumpy here, all the way from Windsor, New South Wales at the Upper Hawkesbury Powerboat Club. It's a new show, it's called the Turn Bouyz, and hopefully this is the first of many to come. We're going to try and showcase a lot of powerboat racing of all different aspects from Australia and showcase it across the world. We're going to try and keep you informed as to what's happening, latest information. We'll talk to different people, we'll talk to maritime and all that sort of stuff. But hopefully it's going to be a little bit of a fun show. Like I said, we're just here at a club day at Windsor. Now Windsor's not only, like the Upper Hawkesbury Powerboat Club, but it's actually the finish line to the bridge-to-bridge ski race and also the powerboat bridge-to-bridge. So it's a pretty spectacular little place, this. And I'm joined by my very good friend, and, I don't know what to say after that, but, it's Jamie Butler. Because a lot of people do say a lot of stuff about you, Jamie. How are you?
I'm excellent, thanks, Lumpy. Yourself?
I'm well. Mate, some great racing out here today.
Top racing, mate. Yeah, the 105s are just coming back in now, and, plenty more to come.
Absolutely. Now, like I said, when we come to interviews and all that sort of stuff, Jamie has a nice little segment, which he likes to call
Across the Deck with Jamo.
I don't know how they come up with that, but he did catch up earlier with a young fella by the name of Kaine Casson, who had a bit of an incident here at the Upper Hawkesbury Powerboat Club at the last Spectacular in 2018. Let's take a look.
Here we are, Across the Deck with Jamo, talking to the young man himself. Kaine Casson, 10 months since your accident. We've just watched the footage. Can you please talk us through it?
Yeah, on the Sunday, it was September 2018. Come down the first straight after the flag drop, and coming into the corner, as I trimmed in, the boat didn't go in as I was expecting. It just delaminated, and from what I can remember, I just remember flying through the air sideways and nothing, just coming to upside down, and grabbed me mask to push on my face and purging. I had no air, and it was just all about getting out from there.
Yeah, so I've noticed you've changed manufacturers from the Bubba boat. Now you've got a Moore. Can you walk us through the Moore, please?
Yeah, the Bubba, we can't fold it like it did everything it was meant to. I'm still here, till another day. This boat, we just went to a Moore as just we thought it looked better on the water as a stable boat. The cockpit we like more as I sit below it rather than having my head exposed. So if I barrel roll it again, hopefully it won't happen, but if that happens again, I won't cop water pressure to the eyes or the face.
Just on delaminating there, Kaine, can you explain a bit more, being a boat builder yourself, explain a bit more of what delamination is?
Yeah, all the fiberglass itself, or carbon fibre boat, they've got a foam core in them, which is foam, and that never stuck to the glass properly, and then the water pressure's gotten in between that and torn it all apart, and right the way through the boat, it's not repairable, so it wasn't viable to do it.
Right. Hence the change of boats.
Yep.
And just on your purging, can you explain to everyone what you meant by your purging with your mask?
So on your purge, this is your purge button just here, and that just blows air onto your face and gets the water out of your mask, and that allows you to be breathing on a bottle that's in the boat, and depending on the size of the bottle, you got from 2 minutes to 20 minutes to half hour, and the bottle that we're running's half hour. Just if you're stuck on a upside down on the bottom, you just want plenty of time, and you relax and wait for your rescue to come and get you. And here's some of the other stuff. This Hans device, that worked a treat the next day. It never had a sore neck at all. These are a flotation vest just designed for in a cockpit.
So moving forward from here, Kaine, what was your feelings getting back into the boat a couple of months ago?
Oh, it was taking a bit as we got the boat, ordered it from overseas. We were getting pretty keen, and then we bolted the motor on, fired it up at home, and I was getting more nervous. And then we got here today, and I was just freaking out. But as soon as we got it on the water and the flag went up, that's just all your nerves go out the window and all the adrenaline comes in, and you're just ready to go.
Actually, that's just what being a racer is, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. You know yourself.
Oh, been a long time. Let me tell you, I'm a nobody compared to you. Yeah, now starting off in racing when you were a child and whatnot, did you race juniors and talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it all started. So we used to do the barefoot drags as a kid. Dad, anything like since I was 3, just going fast, and then Kai Cornell just over there. We'd race bikes all our lives and race together, and then he got into the boats, and it was all about that. I had to beat him in that, have a crack anyway, and he always gave it to me, and it was just all about that. I've raced juniors for about 5 years. I won 2 Australian titles in that. And then moved on from that to 25s, and I won 3 Australian titles in that. And then last year I won the F4 Australian champion. Massive thanks to Alan Baker. That wouldn't have happened without you. In the bubble, we managed to win the Australian title in F1 as well.
Now, just a quick one, just while we wrap it up. Favourite drink?
Ooh, there's too many. Captain Morgan, probably.
Really?
After a race weekend, just have a few and kick back and enjoy.
Favourite food?
Probably spaghetti bowl.
Really?
Goes
Homemade,
alright.
of course.
Yeah, Vic doesn't do a bad one. I better give her a mention.
Now, if you're down to your last $10, what would you spend it on?
I'd buy my old man a beer for everything he's done for me.
Oh, wow, look at that. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's Across the Deck with Jamo.
So, Jamie, that was a fantastic interview with Kaine Casson down here at the Upper Hawkesbury Powerboat Club. But he come back from that accident, and it was like nothing happened. I mean, sure enough that he took his safety pretty much to paramount, I should say. He was going for everything, but how he's come back is just absolutely amazing. How did you find him after that accident?
Yeah, I think he was hiding a lot of nerves, just
Yeah,
quietly. Great young kid. Drove well. He had a bit of mishap with the engine. First day back at Windsor, but I think he was hiding his nerves, Lump. But yeah, great kid, great family.
But when you think about it, he's come back here and, this is where he had his accident and he's heading up that straight. Do you ever think that it would sort of reiterate in his mind that something like that might happen again?
Oh,
but
100%.
obviously he's with a different boat.
Yeah,
but
100%.
It would obviously be playing in the back of his mind?
Yeah, 100%, especially as that flag drops and going down the first straight, especially coming to that buoy at 100 and something mile an hour, you're relying on that trim button to pull the boat in and hook in, and it didn't happen to him that day. So
yeah,
I guess that first corner, it would have been a bit
daunting.
I didn't know how to say that, but yes.
Well, I tell you what, it's an absolute credit to Kaine and his dad and all the crew for getting that boat back out in the water, and obviously they changed boats, so and that
Big
was
deal.
another big deal, learning to deal. So if you're going to talk changing boats, is that another big issue when you've got going from one boat to another?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do they obviously handle different?
Yeah, massively. Different boats have got different lifts, different familiarities with steering, trim, everything's different. They had to rebuild the engine, they hurt the engine when they rolled it, they had to buy some new safety gear because his suit got cut off, massive. So, I reckon that first corner he would have been holding on top.
Yeah, just a huge effort. So, thanks so much for that, Kaine, and thanks to the Casson family. Now, we're joined here by Sean Walker, the Commodore of the Upper Hawkesbury Powerboat Club, and of course Dave McMillan, the Vice President of New South Wales Ski Racing Australia. So welcome, boys, to the Upper Hawkesbury Powerboat Club. I should welcome you to your club, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. That's exactly right. We do appreciate you letting us use your space. But Sean, look, of all the times, how long have you been involved in the Upper Hawkesbury Powerboat Club? And, what drives you to make a club better?
Look, I've been involved since about 2005, 2006. Started off my days as a diver on the rescue crew, and I guess the rest is history, and here I am as a Commodore. The thing that drives me is you walk down, particularly our January meeting when we had, 4,000 or 5,000 spectators over the weekend, walking along the front and seeing all these people here coming to watch the show that we've got for them. It's really humbling.
And that would be the USA versus Australia?
That's the one, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay, so let's just take a little bit from that. So we had the USA versus Australia blown boat channel, so to speak.
That's one, yeah.
And we had something so how many thousands of people were here? I hear 98 through the gate. Is that for real? Or,
we had about 6,000 people over the weekend.
Yeah, clearly not. But it was an amazing effort. Now, just talk us through that. What have you got to do as a club to put something this spectacular on at the Upper Hawkesbury Powerboat Club in Windsor?
Look, it takes months of work to get it there, and it's certainly by no stretch of imagination something that I can stand there and go, no, this was all me.
Yeah.
I've got an exceptional crew our exceptional team in the committee, the directors that hook in and get that sort of stuff done. So it's a huge team effort.
It's a massive team effort. How many people would you think that would be on, like, your roll call, so to speak, as far as putting everything together?
Yeah, so...
Like volunteers?
Yeah, so from our board's perspective, we've got about 45 people involved.
Wow.
For a spectacular, we'll have about, on top of that, up to about 80 to 90 people involved. And then when we go to our double dash that we run in May, we've got up to about 150 people involved over the weekend.
That is amazing.
From the time that the promoters said you guys have got the meet, how long did it take you to organise it?
Look, that's a tough one. We're probably doing bits and pieces for quite a while, but within that time, we've also got club days that are running every month.
For sure.
As I said, the double dash, we'll get our spectacular in September. So, we really sort of hooked in, and probably after our spectacular sort of October, November. But there've been stuff going on for about 12, 18 months beforehand.
It's crazy, isn't it? The amount of hours that the volunteers actually put into to putting events on.
Yeah, and it's all volunteers too.
And 100% it's all volunteers. I've sort of been there. You are there. Jamie,
I've been there, been Vice Commodore myself.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think I was.
I'll question that.
But he drove a Commodore.
That's what it is. He drove a Commodore.
He drove
a Commodore. But all in all, if I was going to ask you something, where do you see Upper Hawkesbury Powerboat Club in 5 years' time? Like you guys sort of extend the whole thing when it comes to safety and all that sort of stuff. I mean, you guys are paramount on safety.
Absolutely.
Because, you were obviously there to start with, so that's, and that should be the number one rule to start with. Yeah. But in 5 years' time, is the Upper Hawkesbury Powerboat Club still going to be the Upper Hawkesbury Powerboat Club and still racing?
Yeah, look, I think it goes without saying that we will be. We've got probably we're the most active club in the country.
Yeah.
We run pretty much an event every month.
Yep.
Apart from January, basically, where we have a break, except for every
well
second year now.
Break. Yeah.
I think we're trying new things. We've got all sorts of different people that are trying to get involved and up the ante and just make it a really good, enjoyable weekend, particularly for our spectacular, and get people involved.
And that's what it's all about, isn't it? I mean, when you talk about getting people involved, what sort of other things do you have besides the boat racing? Mm-hmm. So we're talking spectacular weekend, which is in September. What date's that on?
14th and 15th of September.
14th and 15th of September this year. So what else is there to do for people once they come here?
Yeah.
What are they going to experience?
Yeah, so obviously we've got, over 45 races each day. Well, that's on the water, which it doesn't sound much, but I tell you what, it's a huge effort to get them.
Cracker effort, yeah.
Big effort.
We've got, lots of trade stands, stalls for people to have a look at. We've got heaps of kids rides for people, the kids to come and keep them occupied.
Yeah.
On the Sunday, we've got a hot rod and sort of street machine show.
Awesome.
That, not only can you have a look at stuff on the water, but you can check out a whole bunch of cars as well. So
that's Stan saying his top fuel car was here.
Absolutely right.
One time, that was pretty
cool. A couple of years ago, it was. That's right. And old Beryl, we had to ring up old Beryl up the road because when he fired up the engine, we had to tell her not to boil the jug in case she burned herself. But look, Sean, thanks so much for joining us at your club.
No, thank you.
Look, we're going to head over to our little 4-foot Mexican named David Bisho, who's been up in Bowen for the second round of the offshore races, and he's got us to. He's going to catch up with us a little later on. So that was wrong. What I'm going to say is let's do that again.
Oh, I was holding that cough.
So thanks so much for joining us, Sean. We do appreciate it at your club. But we're going to catch up with Dave Bishop now. He's our little 4-foot Mexican from Victoria who's trying to get a suntan under a sombrero up there in Bowen for the second round of the offshores. Over to you, Bisho.
Well, thanks, Lumpy and Jamo. Doing a great job up there, boys. Fantastic. I tell you what, we had a terrific weekend at Bowen for round number 2 of the Australian Offshore Superboat Championships. And I've got back to Melbourne and it's absolutely freezing, but we're down here in the race shop of the GP1 right behind me. We're going to have a chat to Grant Harrison a little bit later on. But first, to the drama and tribulation that went on up in Bowen. Some great racing. Had some real drama with the Maritimo 12 boat. Starboard engine actually catching fire on that particular boat. we also had the SUV Simrad boat rolling over in the top corner in the last race, which was really disappointing for those guys. The results for the racing in Supercat Extreme, race number 1 was Maritimo 11, followed by Dynamic Racing in second. Unfortunately, DNFs for Team 3, The Judge and Maritimo 12. In Supercat Outboard, the Hulk took out the win in race number 1, back to Saracen and TCR in third.
Pummeled, and then the Dynamic, who have missed the kick badly and are pushing away now. Con, unbelievable start, and Team Dynamic, the big losers out of that one.
Yeah, mate, a bit of a shame. They must have missed the start. Probably weren't looking, but that happens, mate. But I'm sure they'll make it up. They're pretty good, competitive boys.
Oh, they're competitive. They will be absolutely spewing. I don't know what's gone on there, but they'll be very, very disappointed with that start, and they'll be.
In race number 2 in Supercat Extreme, the Judge, the brand new boat of Matty Turner and John Shan, came up with the goods. Into second place was Maritimo 11 and then Team 3 after fixing their broken propeller into third spot. In Supercat Outboard in race number 2, the Hulk again showed a clean pair of heels, back to Saracen and the Victorian team TCR Offshore.
And then there is an absolute race on in the 600 horsepower category. Gunnel to gunnel and deck to deck. We've got the Hulk. And on the outside of them, the TCR. Then it's back to the Saracen. Rounding out them back to 88 Racing, Michael and Griffith L. and the Simrad SUV.
In race number 3 in Supercat Extreme, Maritimo 11 was again victorious. Back to Team Dynamic Racing 128 and Team 3 coming into third place. Whilst the Supercat Outboard category, the Hulk took another win, back to Saracen and again TCR Offshore, both boats up from Victoria.
The Judge, sponsored by Landmark. 3 wide, up through the top turn we go here at Bowen, race number 2. Round number 2 of the Australian Offshore Superboat Championships, and the Judge pokes its nose back into the lead. We're going to see Michael and Griffith Thal coming through in the 88 Racing for Puma Energy at Rio Don. But on the outside of them, mean and green, ladies and gentlemen, the Hulk, an absolute domination from Mickey Walker and Paul Foles as the Hulk takes the win in 600 horsepower.
So, with the Oz 1 trophy for outright honours across all teams on the line, at the moment we're looking, sitting at top of the table is Maritimo 11. Then it's back to Dynamic Racing and the Hulk sitting in third place. In the Supercat Extreme overall point score, Dynamic Racing is on top of the table, back to Team 3, then Maritimo 11. And in the Supercat Outboard overall, the Hulk doing it very, very nicely indeed, back to Saracen and then TCR Offshore. So as I said, boys, fantastic racing up there. I tell you what, I tried to get a tan under the sombrero, Lumpy, but I didn't go that well. All I did was get a roof dropped on my nose and cut my nose open. Thanks, Scotty Lambert, for that one. He's an absolute legend. Hey, boys, I tell you what, it's better to be a 4-foot-high Victorian than be a 4-foot-wide cockroach.
Thanks, Bisho. I've got a lot to say about you, but I'll just keep it for another program. But appreciate your updates down there, or up there at the offshores at Bowen. What a fantastic meet that was, Jamo.
Yeah, fantastic. Glad to see everyone was okay. There's a few spins. And small fire there on Maritimo, but looks to see that everyone's okay, so
That's the main thing. And our little 4-foot Mexican didn't get sunburn under his sombrero. That's our main concern.
Yeah, I was worried about
Other than that, we just worry about little mate Bisho because he's going to bring us a lot more in seasons to come. Joining us here at the barrel, our little barrel, our Upper Hawkesbury barrel, is not me, I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about this barrel, by the way, is Dave McMillan from Ski Racing. Dave, how are you?
Good, mate. I'm going really good.
That's that's good, I should say. And, mate, I'm just going to ask you, people probably wouldn't recognise you other than page 13 Clio.
Mate.
Is that correct?
Look, it's not something I talk about often.
Yeah, I know, but I just happened to flick through and I saw you and I'm going, geez, I flicked over it.
It's a pretty, look, I'm glad you did. It's a pretty old edition. The problem is you've just got to get through uni.
Problem was it was
just trying to get myself through.
Problem was it was a 2-page spread.
Well, that's what they pay for.
Look, if you could go for a romantic walk, like along the beach, hand in hand, with someone from the panel, who would it be?
Including Sean?
Including Sean?
Yeah.
Sean.
We're not chubby chaser?
Well, no, mate. Look, we two blokes, I do have 2 hands, so we could make it work.
Look, he picks me, it goes without saying.
Make it work.
Yeah, see, and that's the love between power boaters and ski racers. Look, being New South Wales chair or vice chairman, I should say, of the ski racing, where do you see ski racing being in another 5 years? As I asked Sean about powerboat racing.
Ski racing's in a little bit of a funny spot at the moment. We're steady. We're steady in our numbers. We're steady with our competitor numbers. We've got a lot of people doing a lot of hard work to keep us on the water.
Yeah.
That's where we've at. We've had a continual long run of incidents over the last few years, and we've just got to keep on putting all of our efforts into safety and making ski racing as safe as we can make this extreme sport.
And that's the thing it comes down to at the end of the day, it is safety. I mean, you mentioned that before, you've mentioned safety, Safety is paramount, and you know what I always say, I remember going on a cruise ship and I put my life jacket on and I walked out and said, safety never takes a holiday, because it doesn't, and particularly when it comes to our powerboat sports, because you know, you guys have had your fair share of bad luck, and as well as you guys. Yeah. And, you know, you guys suffered like these guys did, but you had a spate of so many, but you've slowly starting to bring it back now. Yeah,
look, we've in the last few years we've formed a specific safety committee with some really good guys on there.
Yeah.
You've got guys like Jason Wormsley, Daniel Cotton,
a
few of the legends from Victoria. And
absolutely.
Those guys know what they're talking about.
100%.
It's not some punter that puts his hand up and says, I want to be the safety guy.
Yep.
These guys live, breathe it. They scrutiny our boats.
Yep.
You look at Jace Wormsley, he's done everything. He still holds a record at Echuca for driving a boat.
Yep.
He still holds records for being on a ski.
Yep.
Like, he's the guy that you want guiding your sport. So
exactly.
You get guys like that and they're willing to come on board and willing to work hard on a volunteer basis.
Yep.
And you've got to embrace those guys, and they've all come together, and the safety recommendations are taken seriously. And we are moving forward. We've just brought in a whole season of speed restrictions. So from our juniors, you can't just go and grab a big 21-foot force, put a twin turbo donk in it, and go drag a 12-year-old kid at 100 mile an hour. That sort of stuff just doesn't happen anymore. So it's been quite exciting to be part of that change, and you know, engaging with our members in that change, and trying to get, you know, like in a sport that is so old and so emotionally based. Like once you start ski racing, I'm sure it's the same with the powerboat guys. You identify as a ski racer, you identify as a powerboat racer, and you know, to try and bring change in those environments is just one of the most difficult things. And that's the thing. So how are they taking that on board? Are they accepting it, or have you had a few, you know, people that haven't or left? It's really the state of play now. Okay. It's really the state of play for us to get on the water. Yep. We've got to protect our juniors, and we've got to protect our sport. Mate, it's the future of your sport. Exactly. It's right. Like our juniors, you know, exactly like, well, I shouldn't say our juniors, but the juniors of, you know, I come from a powerboat background, and it's like our juniors when they're on the water, and it's the same sort of thing, you know, they're the future of the sport, and we've got to push them forward, leading into safer options. That's right, and look, we've changed the way that our age groups work. We've gone from sort of 13s to 16s to 19s, and we've brought that back to 2-year gaps. So it means you have a year as say you're a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old, have that year where you're chasing the older person, and then you've got that year at the top where you start winning your class, and then you've got another year rebuilding. You start winning class.
Good
It's
idea.
not big steps.
Yeah, good idea.
It's not big steps.
Yeah,
So-
that's huge.
And
That's
in that,
huge.
you go and change a class, and we've got a record book that's how long. Where
Yeah, that's right.
People who are now driving boats, they might have got the record as an under 13 or an under 16 boy. Now it all changed.
And now they're
It all
driving,
changed.
yeah,
So
yeah,
we've had
yeah.
a season of it. It's gone really well. I think
Fantastic.
throughout New South Wales, Victoria, and Queensland, it's
Great.
actually gone really well. So I'm
Yeah.
excited for this season.
No, absolutely.
That all dust has settled.
So when you talk about, everybody says if you were going to change something about ski racing, if there was one thing, would you change it now, or would you let everything go now and just move on and change it later?
I think with safety at paramount.
Yeah.
Our next issue is affordability.
100%.
It'll
Yeah.
be the same with the powerboat guys, even the offshore guys, and whatever sort of racing you do, you need to make sure that mum and dad can turn up with their boat,
Family sport.
tow their kids around.
Yeah.
Because once we get them addicted, because that happens, all of a sudden we don't need to buy another house. We want to go on 300
Because everybody can live in a 21-foot force.
Well, that's exactly-
Ching, Rod.
right.
Roddy, if you're going to sign a checkbook, we can have that right now, by the way.
That's exactly right.
Because we need some money to put this show together, Rod.
Yeah. We said Rod. We've said Rod enough. Rod. So the go is we can make sure that as a family you can come and race.
100%,
So
and
that's
that's
got to be our driving strategy.
yeah, absolutely.
For the next year. And,
Absolutely.
and continue to put on great races.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Now, let's talk about the 2019 World Championships.
Oh, what an exciting
Okay, so
time.
we're going to France, is that correct?
We're going to Vichy in France.
Vichy in France,
which
yeah.
Is, which is pretty much like racing in Cook's River. I don't know if anyone knows of Cook's River, but there's walls on either side, and it's going to be a really messy, slow style race. So
Big waves. Yeah.
big walls, all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
we have.
So they might as well get me to jump in before they take off.
That's exactly
Yeah,
right.
gotcha.
Or
Yeah,
just sit on
yeah.
the nose of the boat.
I haven't got that call yet.
Well, who knows? Just get your number out there.
I'm waiting. My bag's packed.
Yeah. So we're sending a great Australian team over, like with a real mixed bag.
Awesome Australian team, yeah.
Really good young people who've worked so hard in perfecting their craft and qualifying over 7 selection races to get there. Like, we really are the best in the world at this sport. There is no doubt. We are the best
That's
as
insane.
a country. And for us to be able to send such a strong team is just unreal.
How many young Australians do you think that would be going over to compete for their world title at ski racing?
Oh, look, it blows the doors off you just thinking. The one that comes straight to mind is young Nellie McMillan.
Yep.
She went last time as the youngest ever skier to represent us at a
Yep.
world title. And the McMillan name, not my side of the McMillans, I'm from the ethnic side from up and down. but
You're from the side we can't pronounce.
That's exactly right, and no one knows. But we have great food.
Yeah,
We have
absolutely.
great food.
Clearly.
So you look at Dave Macker and Bob Macker
Yeah.
and Mary McMillan, all the stuff and all the history that goes on there. For Nellie to represent our country once again, she's been New South Wales Female Skier of the Year 2 years running.
Yeah.
And it's because she turns up and skis. Every event we put on, here's Nellie skiing, and the reason why she's going over as the #1 junior girl is because she's skiing every event we put on.
100%.
Yep.
100%. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day, and I just can't believe how many young and upcoming skiers there are, and the amount of people that are going overseas to represent Australia, like young Jack Goldie, you've got
Jack Goldie, young Ryan
Stanford, yeah.
Bailey Cropper's going over as reserve, Brock's going over as reserve, Cam
It's
Osborne.
crazy.
Riley Jarvis, she's from up the Central Coast, she's just, and Hayley Gibson, these girls have just worked at their craft.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you just watch them just
Yeah.
accelerate over the last year, and just the amount of training they do is just phenomenal.
It is.
They're out skiing 3 times
and it's
a
an
week.
absolute credit to them all. And it's obviously through hard training and dedication to their sport that they actually do this. So well done
to be
to
competing
all
at
of
that
them.
elite level. It's
That's
just
amazing, absolutely amazing. Now, moving forward, what's on the next event for you guys? The 120?
The 120 is our next
Yeah,
big classic.
the
in
Hawkesbury
New South-
120.
New South Wales. So
Yeah.
the 120 is
And that is, date is?
where are we? We're the 24th, 25th.
Yep.
So we head from Windsor here down to Wiselands Fair, and we come back. So there's some exciting stuff happening this year. We're doing a 1-up social, which means our social classes on Saturday will be coming 1-up, which means 1 skier.
Yep.
Because basically these social blokes, they're mad. See, social
Are
skiing...
they idiots?
No, they're mad.
You can just call them
they're
idiots.
100%. Social skiing is when we all jump in a boat.
Right.
And we go for a ski on the Hawkesbury on a Saturday afternoon.
100%.
100%.
We stop and get a pizza and ski back.
Absolutely.
That's social
Couple of
skiing.
beers,
Well, for you and I...
down the wetsuit.
For you and I, we'll be driving...
I didn't say that, Sean.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly right. For you and I, we'll be on the pizzas.
Yeah.
And driving and
Yeah,
turning. That's
I
our
had a ski
department.
tube.
Yep.
Yeah, on the tube. That's exactly
Well,
right.
do you know what they
Can we
always
do
said?
that?
They always said the Southern 80 was a straight run until I went down there in a ski tube, and I put the bends in the river.
I've heard that.
Yeah, it's a well-known fact.
So these
it's a
blokes,
folklore.
These blokes on the social, they find it hard to get a partner. They're that mad. So we've set it up so they run one up.
Yep.
So they run one up. They can run at their own speed.
Cool.
And under new, as I mentioned before, with the speed restricted classes, they're all running in a speed restricted class. So
And
that
there
should
is
be
new
red hot.
speed restricted classes. So what are they now?
So super class is 120 mile an hour.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's where you're at.
You're
That's
still
still
correct.
fast.
He knows.
That's
yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
That's still
120
fast.
mile an hour. Of course it is.
On a fence
I
pavement.
do that to a canteen.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So look, 120 mile an hour. That's not everybody's business.
Yeah.
They're elite athletes. These guys.
Yeah.
And to be able to just put a little bit of a rein on those guys instead of doing those big numbers that they were doing, as we mentioned, Zig and Pete and those
Yeah,
guys.
100%.
Those guys are just the next level again. So we need to make it a sport that everybody can do, and not the amount of commitment those guys did to get to those speeds. Not everybody can do that.
Yeah.
And we're worried that if you can't do that, you're going to get hurt trying.
100%. Yeah.
So that's where we're at.
And
We're at-
again, all about safety.
that's right. And when we brought in that speed cap, there was a lot of drama about it. There was a lot
Yeah.
of we can't go and get records. Well, I think every record in the country has been broken. I think apart from Grafton.
Can I just say one thing? Would as a driver, okay, would you be concentrating on your 120 mile an hour limit compared to, would you go into, so say if that was your limit going up a course
Yep.
at 120 mile an hour, right? Would you go hotter into a corner rather than backing off and knowing you can do 130 around the next corner?
Exactly right.
Or what happens there?
That's the challenge.
That's the challenge?
That's the challenge. So
That was my question, yeah.
you look at what Ian Tricker did at the Southern 80. He went and set a record down there.
Amazing.
Amazing record. So it was
Amazing.
29 minutes, 22.
We'll have him on the show
Don't
later
hold me
on.
that. He's his favourite
I'll get his
subject.
autograph. by the
Yeah,
way.
it'll be his favourite subject talking about this because the amount of work that Ian put in to getting
He went down a week before?
week,
A
and
month?
the week before that, and the week before
Okay,
that, and rumour
right.
has it the week before that.
Okay,
So
right.
he's-
Google Earth.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
He deserves it.
His car rego's now in Victoria. That's how much time we spent down there. Like on the electoral roll, he's got to go and vote. But he and his team, Reece Simmons, Ray Ball, and Mav Nath Miller, that was their focus to go and get that race, and they worked their asses off to go and
Good.
get it. And exactly, he went nowhere near that 120 speed cap.
Okay.
went
But he
nowhere
knew
near-
the lines of the river
He did
to
a
do it.
consistent run down the river.
That's it. And that's what I'm saying.
and that's
So,
where it's at.
and
So
you know the
that's the
best thing
challenge.
about that? He didn't put his skis at risk.
That's the challenge.
To do it.
That's exactly right.
So-
They work super hard to get
Absolutely.
it. So
You
they
put
should
your
be-
homework in and you get the result at the end of the day. But, you know, there's a lot of people out there that probably can't do that either.
It's hard. It's hard.
And, you know, it's, you know, and full credit to him and his team.
Fastest guy
they
down the
do.
Southern 80 course in an inboard. Fastest guy on the Southern 80 course in
I
an
know,
inboard.
fantastic.
Wow.
And he comes from our backyard.
That's exactly right.
How good is that? How good is that? So we've got the 120 coming up. We spoke about the 120, 24th and 25th, is it?
Yeah, we've
Of-
got our first series days on the 11th down at Wiseman's.
Yep.
So that's 2 weeks before the 120. So that's
Yep.
when everyone sort of has a bit of a suck and see.
Yep.
You look across and see who's running and who's partnered up with who, and you know everyone sort of goes, oh, well, they're running 300 and something foot rope, and oh, we're only running 290, so maybe we should do this, or oh, someone sells a different ski, or they got a different propeller, or oh, he's in
Yeah.
that boat, or all that sort of
Yeah.
all that sort of banter and all that sort of stuff will happen down at the series
So
day.
we may even get you back to do a couple of tech talks for us as far as ski rope lengths and all that sort of stuff's
Mate, I'll have
concerned.
to take
So,
advice on that. I'm not that good on that stuff.
but do you know what? I just want to put it out. I just want to put it out there quietly. I've stretched a few.
That's our department wants to Yeah.
But look, I want to put to bed the theory, before we wrap up, I just want to put to bed the theory, okay? Do ski racers hate powerboat races? Do powerboat racers hate ski races?
I've been ski racing now for 6 years.
It's up to you guys now.
And the best powerboat racers are ski racers.
the best powerboat racers, ski racers? Sean?
Well, where do you go with that? I'd have to say we've got plenty of good boat racers that never been ski racers either. But, look, you know, in all seriousness, for many years with our bridge to bridge, we've run the one up, the ski race as well. You know, the 120, the bridge to bridge, they all use our clubhouse.
100%, yeah.
You know, so look, from my level, my perspective,
Yep.
absolutely not. I think we all get along. Yep. What we've got to remember is that we all need to work together to build our sport as a whole, as a boating sport, and not just individual facets of it.
Yeah.
You know, we need to all be involved in showing the people out there what our sports have to offer.
I like that. Sports.
Absolutely. What they have to offer.
Yeah.
The New South Wales Ski Racing Board has made a commitment this year to work extra closely with the Upper Hawkesbury Powerboat Club. We had a race called the One Up Bridge to Bridge, which we haven't run in a lot of years.
Correct.
In conjunction with these guys.
Yeah.
Well, we're on it.
Okay.
Ski Racing wants that to happen again.
Yeah.
And if we can support the Upper Hawkesbury Powerboat Club to put on their race and join forces, that's where we need to go.
Look, if there's one thing that I'd like to give you guys some sort of, you know, advice on, could you not run a ski race on a powerboat race? Could you not run a powerboat race on a ski race? Because at the end of the day, Jamo, we all love boat racing. So whether it's ski racing or circuit boat racing or anything along those lines, you know, the calendar seems to do this for some reason. I mean, can't you get together and rock, paper, scissors or something? I mean, what happens there?
The biggest thing is that our calendar is nationwide and it doesn't get set. We put our dates forward on what we would like and we get told what we can have.
Okay.
Right. The best thing that we have with our relationship with the Upper Hawkesbury Powerboat Club is when we put our series days on in our 120, we won't clash.
Yeah.
Okay.
We won't clash. Yeah.
And I'm sure everybody out there would like to know why they clash sometimes, but you know, that's a great explanation. So,
and look, our calendar's the same. It's a nationwide calendar, and every weekend of the year there's a powerboat race event somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously you've got major events they don't want, regardless of where it's the other side of the country.
Yeah.
You don't want major events clashing. You really don't even want club days clashing with major events.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you want those clubs to be able to get as many
people
they possibly can.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's really important. And when you try and put two together, it's
doesn't add up.
It's just hard,
sometimes it just doesn't add up, does it? Well, I tell you what, thank you so much for joining us here on the Turn Buoyz with a Z. It is our first show. Jamo, thanks so much, buddy.
No worries.
Do appreciate it. We're here at the Upper Hawkesbury Powerboat Club. And just remember, if you do have something to add, please don't hesitate to email us at theturnbuoyz@gmail.com or just jump on the Facebook link, and we're too happy to answer anything that you may have coming up. Boys, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Sean, I'd want to thank you for coming to your club.
Anytime.
But once again, Jamo, you're a superstar.
Pleasure as always.
Thank you so much, and bye for now.